Hello everybody and welcome to TradeStation's Market Review. My name's Simon Clarke from Trade with Precision, and I'll be discussing a general review of some of the most interesting markets and trends that I'm interested in right now. Now, of course, the big news in the market today is all about the euro and about Greece and whether Greece is going to be able to continue with the euro as a currency. Now, the euro has opened up sharply lower across many markets last night, and if we come and take a look at the euro dollar, we can see that it's quite a different picture from what we were looking at last week. Last week things were looking rather bullish, and the market started to come up towards these sort of old recent highs here in price, and since then the market sort of rolled over. Sunday night the market opened sharply lower, and we had a gap here in the market, so we can't quite see that here very clearly on the daily chart, but we'll take a look at this on the 4 hour and we'll be able to see exactly what's happened here. So you see here that the market's opened up sharply lower. It's been bullish since then, and it's sort of coming up towards closing the gap, which often does tend to happen sometimes in the markets. But here on the 4 hour we've now sort of started to get a nice structured downtrend in price, and of course this market is being driven very much by the news, so we need to remain to see how this plays out. Now, this is a similar sort of picture across a lot of the euro pairs. If we take a look at euro yen, we can see that the gap is much more significant here, and the market sort of opened up underneath the key sort of 139,000 level, and if I open that up, we'll see 139,000 level has actually been quite a significant level going back for a long time in history. We're way underneath that at the moment. Now, the market that I was speaking about last week as a choice, my personal choice for euro markets was EURJPY, and the reason was because EURJPY was already in a downtrend. We've got significant strength in the Great British Pound at the moment, and that was just really playing on the weak euro. So we can see monthly chart still in a downtrend, weekly chart still in a downtrend. We had this level of 0.71200 where the market had found support at before, and indeed now we can see last week we broke through that level, and now we've had again a big gap in the market, and the market started to retrace to fill that gap. If we come down to the 4 hour chart, we can see this in more detail, but here on this market we've got trend confirmation across all of these higher time frames. We've got downtrends in all of these higher time frames, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. The market's just sort of pulling back up into the averages here. We've got significant resistance above price action as well. So whilst I'm not sort of looking at immediate trading opportunities, I want to see how the market's going to play out around this area. We've got sort of I think a key area around here as to whether the market's going to strengthen. We've certainly got a reasonable enough things going on here to look for opportunities short once the market closes the gap here. So let's take a look at some of the other markets that like the US index futures. We'll take a look at the mini Dow future here, see how that one's fared, and we can see that the opening after the weekend here has also already seen a significant gap in price action. If I open the daily chart up here, we can see that last week we were talking about the markets had turned around into an uptrend, and we had an uptrend across all of those higher time frames, monthly, weekly and daily, and I was looking for a decisive break above the 18,100 here to confirm sort of bullish momentum and looking for new highs if that happened. But we can see that we didn't get that. 18,100 sort of stood firm, and the market was unable to break decisively above it, and now it's actually rolled over. So it's quite interesting here that we can see that since the opening after the weekend, we can see that the market's it's opened almost down here to the 17,500, which was a level that I'd marked in there as previous support and resistance that we'd seen through this sort of sideways consolidation here, and it's just moved back up towards 17,700, which is another level of support and resistance that we can see through this consolidation. So again, there's quite a lot of indecision here in these markets at the moment. So for me personally, I'm going to be sort of just looking at intraday trading opportunities until we get some sort of clear direction on trend across these time frames. Now, one of the markets that I think is I'm also keeping a close eye on, which I also like here, is platinum. Now, I spoke about platinum a few weeks ago, and platinum is actually in a nice downtrend here, and it doesn't seem to be affected in many ways like the euro has and some of those other markets. If we take a look at the monthly chart, we can see here in the monthly we've got a lovely steady downtrend, moving averages all in the right order, nice agreement here with our indicators as well, so a nice well behaved trend. If we come down to the weekly chart, again we can see the same structure here on the weekly chart too. There's bit of a level through here, so I've got it marked in around the 1120 area where the market's found support in the past. Previous support levels acting as a bit of resistance here, possibly will act as resistance if the market comes back to retest it, but again the market's not significantly overextended from the moving averages, so looking like a very well behaved downtrend here. If we come down to the daily chart and just start to look here at the trend structure here on the daily chart, we can see that we've got a nice decisive downtrend. The market's now sort of pulled back into the zone here in between the 10 and the 20 period moving average, and I like the look here of this candle. It's we've got a nice exhaustion style candle sitting there right in that zone. It's a bearish candle at this moment in time, so again, nice area to look for opportunities for a continuation of the downtrend short. And just starting to, if we start to look at the sort of structure of the market at the moment, we can see from the old low down here we've got support, support, resistance, resistance. The market's tried to break up above that level. It's broken above it but been unable to hold above it, and now it's moved right the way down and it's looking rather bearish at the moment. So again, looking for, I like this trend structure. It's nice and consistent across all of those time frames, and I'm looking for opportunities short on platinum. Okay, so let me tell you about the webinars that we've got running this week. If you come across to the TradeStation International website, come across to the webinars tab, then you can come down to live webinars. You'll see that the next webinar that we have running this week here is today's top charts. It's the futures markets. So this is going to be a live market analysis webinar where we're going to take a look at the TradeStation platform and using that to analyze the futures markets and look for some of the best trends, some of the best chart structures, and some of the markets with some of those potential trading opportunities on. So if you'd like to join this webinar, all you need to do is to come over to the website, follow the links through to come to this page here, and then you can fill in your details to register to join this webinar. So look forward to seeing you on the webinar. Hope you find it useful, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.